You know, Christmases are never the same. And this is a picture of yours truly at the age of 3. And I had a toy telephone there, apparently. And so I was almost 4 years of age, because that's January of 59. And so it had to be December of 58. And I vaguely remember those times. And anyway, let's see if I can get the whole damn thing in there. What I liked, one of the things I remember about my folks, and let's see if I can tilt this critter up here, is that they always had a lot of Christmas cards, because my dad was self-employed and stuff. So, and plus they both came from pretty large families. My dad was one of 6 kids, and my mom was one of 13 kids. And so they always had lots of cards every year. And, oh, just dozens of them. I mean, that's only a partial group. And, of course, friends they had, and clients or whatever, people that they knew all over the Rogue Valley. And my mom was into doing ceramics, you know, pre-made molds or pouring stuff into molds. And then she had a kiln, she had all kinds of glazes and all kinds of stuff like that for years. And then she finally gave or sold the whole thing to her nephew, who's now deceased. He's been deceased for a few years. But he was involved in the Boy Scouts, and so that was one thing that he loved to do, was work with ceramics and stuff. So that's where that ended up. And I still have some of her ceramics. Actually, I have a hell of a lot of them, and my oldest sister gave me some. My other sister that passed away gave me some, and then my mom gave me a whole load of them. And so if and when I ever get moved out of here, out of my brother's place, then I'll take all that stuff, and hopefully the stuff that's in storage is in good shape. But, you know, I was thinking, it was always, yeah, once in a while there was fights, arguing over politics and dumb shit like that. But, you know, I remember how nice the Christmases were, how nice the get-togethers were. And we kept having the get-togethers. You know, there, of course, people died. A brother died, and both brothers-in-law, and my you know, parents died, and then of course my sister, the younger of the older sisters, died 2 years ago. And kind of after that, and her son-in-law also died a couple of months before that, my niece's husband. But everything kind of just, you know, and COVID didn't help matters, but things kind of just went to shit. And this year, it's been really hard because, just because of the death of my dear friend, which I'm going to talk about a little bit further. But it's like everybody's doing their own thing. So my sister lives in a senior facility in Jacksonville, and her son and his new wife and their dog came to town, and so they're going to be until Wednesday. So I hope I get to see them. But they brought presents over and they celebrated. And my nephew was not big on Christmas until he took up with this new wife. And I'm glad she's that way. I'm really glad. She's a lot like my other nephew's wife, who's the biggest Christmas maniac that there is. And they're up in La Pine. So the other nephew, the oldest nephew, his wife, and then my niece, who's his sister, they were celebrating Christmas today with enchiladas. And so they had their get-together, and I talked to them. And, of course, they're just having the time of their life because they're out near La Pine, Oregon. They're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and it's snowed there. It's going to snow another 5 inches, I guess, tonight. And my nephew's just crazy about the snowplow that he's got. So they're having the time of their life. And then the other brother, the oldest brother that's still alive, and his wife, they're down in Arizona, and they just, and as a pleasant surprise, they sent me a Christmas card with a $100 check in it. I thought that was pretty nice, because last year we spent Christmas and Thanksgiving with them. And then, and then of course the other nephew, the youngest nephew, is down in Los Angeles. And so that just kind of left my brother and me, and we kind of just did our own separate thing, and that's what we've done. So it's kind of sad that things are never like that they were. And I look at these pictures that my brother inherited, and I've been doing a whole bunch of scanning of pictures and labeling pictures where I can, so that my nephew's son and his family, when everybody's kicked the bucket, that he'll know who's in these pictures. They'll have an idea who's in them. And so I have a set, and my brother has a set of these pictures. And I really love my Canon photo printer. Oh my gosh, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I can print so much stuff. I mean, the ink is expensive. You know, it can run to a little bit, but man, it's wonderful. It's just glorious to be able to print my own damn stuff. And I love to print pictures. And I've done it with that man that died. You know, he had some pictures on Facebook. And so I made some prints of it. And hopefully that page stays up. And I suspect that his Mafia Don sister has made sure that nobody posts anything about her late brother where it could be read. So any publicly available posts, I have not seen. It's like he never existed. I haven't seen a thing. She's a control freak. She's a piece of shit. And I have no doubt that today that she and her husband and their daughter went up to the crypt or the niche and put flowers on there and all this other crap. And this was the one time of the year that this friend of mine, he at one time he loved Christmas, but this was something that did not make him happy, because that's when one of his daughters was diagnosed with leukemia and died 5 days later. So it was always heart-wrenching to read his posts on Find a Grave, because he had an account there, and talk about her, because she was like only 34 years old when she died, and the other one was felled with a stroke. He had an absolutely shitty life from age 50 onward, and he tried to make the best of it. And anyway, but his wonderful sister wants to make sure that she has total control over him even in death. But it ain't gonna work with yours truly, because as long as I can get out there in the in the spring, weather-wise, I'm going to be there at that damn crypt or that niche. Then I'm going to be there on the 26th of April, probably late in the afternoon, because it's mountain time. You go to another time zone. So I got to get out of here like 6 in the morning, drive all that way, probably 8 hours at least, maybe 9 hours, and get to that damn cemetery. I'm probably going to go there on the way in before I check in at the hotel. And then I'm going to do my crying, and I might get the flowers. I might have the flower arrangement and do all that stuff the day before. And then put all the little stuff I said I was going to put in there, the note, the flags, all that. And then come back the next day. And just in case she's there, or she shows up, well, I can have everything done. So I'm going to make at least 3 visits to the cemetery. So the day before his birthday, then the day after his birthday on my way out, and see how it goes. But the nice thing about me is, well, I mean, I'm not nice, but the nice thing about it is that I don't have, or I know what she looks like, because I've seen her picture and all this stuff, but she has no idea what I look like. That's what's great. That's what's wonderful. Because I could be up there, as long as I'm not at that niche, she wouldn't know who I was for anything. But I know I'm going to have I know I'm going to be crying my eyes out. I know that. I mean, I've been doing it off and on again today, and I noticed her husband, this sister's husband, unfriended this guy, her brother, on Facebook, because now he's dead, right? So it's time to unfriend him instead of, memorializing him. And hopefully the page stays up, and I think it will. And that's why I got to be careful anything I post on there. I got to be really careful. That's why I deleted stuff, because I never ever want that deleted. And so he unfriended him, but the other brother he's still friends with. He hasn't gotten around to unfriending it, but he decided to private all his recent posts, all the recent posts he did. So somebody's calling the damn shots. So the old Mafia Don, who has the same first name as I do, yeah, she's calling the damn shots. She thinks she is. She thinks she is. And I would love to see the will. If this guy died with a will, which he probably did, I'd love to see what the contents of that will are. I'd also like to see where the flag went, because if you have a military ceremony at anywhere, actually, if you have that, because my brother had a flag that was given to him at his funeral, even though it was a civilian funeral, he was military, and his wife got the flag, and she got an auto pen signed letter from then President George Bush the First, which my brother hated. He couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand him. But it'll be interesting to see where. And my niece also, when her husband died in 2019, she got the flag, and then but that was at a military cemetery, or a ceremony, and at a cemetery, national cemetery, and she got the letter from Donald Trump, and she has that framed and all that stuff. But she can't stand Trump either. But anyway, she thought of him as an asshole. But it's going to be interesting. I would love to know where that flag went when this guy died. Did the daughter get it? Was the daughter even allowed to go? Was she even able to go to his memorial service on November 23rd? Naturally, it should go to her, right? Even though she has all these disabilities, she should get it. She was next of kin. 10 cents says it was a sister. 10 cents says it was that shit-faced sister. And as I said, I would not be a bit surprised if the daughter was not there. But so far as I know, she's not in Idaho. She's still up in Salem. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have some of this stuff on video when, in April, assuming I get out of here, and I'm thinking the weather will be fine, because it's almost May, the last week of April. And if not, I might have to fly, or I'll just, have the flowers sent to his niche, but I don't want to have to do that. Hopefully I can go down, make it there. But it's going to be interesting. Is it going to be the gunfight at the OK Corral? Sort of. Or is it just going to be, me crying my eyes out, visiting him alone, and telling him, yes, I'm going to talk to the grave. Yes, I am. And I'm going to look around so there's not a butterfly net coming after me, or a straitjacket. And I'm going to tell him what I thought of him. And I'm going to tell him all the mistakes I made, which I already had done when I first contacted him again. And that's almost 5 years ago. But damn it to hell, I feel like I don't have a right to have feelings about him or anything, because we didn't get a chance to reunite in person, because I was financially strapped and he was physically limited. And there was a lot of shit going on. And damn it, I need it. It's therapeutic and all. for me. And of course, it's something I'm never gonna recover from. I don't see how. This is like 45 years in the making. So yeah, I know I'm off on that again. But yeah, Christmases really aren't the same, you know, as years go by. And I sure miss the get-togethers with the family. Yeah, the phone is fine. FaceTime is fine. You know, that, but it's not like actually being there. So yeah, the phone's kind of symbolic. That toy phone that I'm on. But it's also, you know, it's also indicates what it was like then. But they were happy times, and I miss those times. That's it.